Are you really, really good at teaching whatever it is you teach? Are you or are you not? Speak or forever hold your peace. I forgot to put lip gloss on. So, why I am really, really good at teaching whatever it is that I teach, which is a multitude of things, but let's say flow, being spirit-led, being dropped in, doing the things that you're meant to do, getting out of your own way, discipline, which is a gateway to flow. In case we didn't know, why I'm really, really good? 2 reasons. One of them is I do practice what I preach, and I learn a lot from that. But I still drop into my mind, emotion, stubbornness, will, whatever it might be, from time to time. I can have a whole conversation with like 10 different parts of me over here about all the reasons why I don't think I should have to do the thing, or I'm not going to show up today, or I'm not going to show up in a certain way, or I don't wanna, or I don't feel like it, or I shouldn't, whatever. And then meanwhile, I can still do it anyway because I can go, no, thank you, not today. The filter is not what is going on in my mind or my emotions. Avni, hello again. The filter is not what is going on in my mind or my emotions. The filter is not whether or not I feel like it. The filter is also not, which leads into the second reason why I'm really good at what I do and why you're really good at what you do, whether or not you're taking ownership of that. The second reason is it doesn't even matter if I think I don't know how or what I'm going to say or how we're going to play this thing called life today, because that's a spirit thing. So my mind and emotions, they can just be over there having a whole little conversation, and I can say, oh, no thank you. That's not the filter. I'm not looking through a lens of what my feelings have to say about it. I'm not looking through a lens of what my mind has to say about it. I'm not looking through a lens of what my will has to say about it. All of which is to say I'm not looking through a lens of what my soul has to say about it, because I'm not following that thing called soul, because it's meant to be following the spirit, rightly led by God. So I can be having a whole thing over here. You can be having a whole thing in your mind or in your emotions around whether or not you should show up for the powerful, purpose-driven work that you are here to share. And by the way, hello, Renee. Hello, those who are here. Say hello if you're on replay. Let me know you're there. Let me know what hits you today. Something's going to hit you today. Thank you, Lord. You can be having a whole conversation about your feelings, your supposed know-how, your supposed readiness, etc. And then on that spirit level, it can be, and hey girl, hey, you could just do the work of today anyhow. You know? That's the first reason. Flick, switch. Get off that track, get onto the track of, me, I'm going to do it anyway. Because I'm not being led by my emotions, my mind, my will, my soul. The second reason why you're so much more equipped, ready, and just brilliant at whatever it is that you are here to do, the second reason is because an anointing, something that it's time for you to say yes to now, which for those like us generally includes some sort of outpouring that should occur, that is not dependent upon you figuring out or building block your way to a pretty little Lego tower of readiness in order to be there. And FYI, somebody needs to hear this today. You can tell me if it's you or you might not want to say it. Why would you not announce yourself? But I said this to a client on the phone earlier today. FYI, whether or not you personally have accomplished or seen accomplished in your life whatever you would think would be like the ultimate and bestest and most, wonderful or impressive outcomes of whatever it is that you're here to teach or share with the world, whether or not you've seen the flourishing or fruition of that in your life has so much less than what you think to do with whether or not you should be teaching, sharing, messaging, speaking forth on that particular topic. So much less. Angela, how many babies are you up to now? 16? I've never known someone to be so effortlessly youthful and have so many children. I think about you all the time. I really do. I just am in wonder and awe. And you haven't caught me live forever because I haven't been live forever. That would probably be the reason. I mean, I'm live all the time behind the scenes. 12. Look at it. I think when we online met, y'all, we never met in person yet. One day maybe. You had maybe 6 or 7. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. 12 children. Give the woman a prize. She already has a prize. She has 12 beautiful babies. All right, somebody has joined my Instagram live whose IG profile name is Dance Tigger. Do I know you? But whoever you are, I don't know if I know you. That is literally the best profile name I've ever encountered. The best profile name. I did know that, Angela. Praise the Lord for that deliverance. Who is Dance Tigger? I feel like I want to exit the live stream to find out who this is. I'm peering at your profile photo. I feel like I know who it is, but I don't know. So anyhow, happy birthday to your son, Christy. Happy 9th birthday. Right before Christmas. What a beautiful time to have a birthday. All the celebrations at once. Okay, so anyhow, this is an important topic. I was talking to a client earlier who knows that she is meant to write a book. She knows that she's meant to write a book. She actually knows she's meant to do several things. Everybody here knows they're meant to do several things. Can we just admit it? Something big in the world is meant to come out of you. You can say amen. You can send a love heart shower. You can nod your head solemnly in agreement in your own privacy of your own home or space. Is there something big that is meant to come out of you? Is there something big that is meant to come out of you in 2024? Maybe even it should start before then. There's no rule that you have to wait till January 1 in order to commit to new things, you know. I think we just kind of made that up as a people group. But by the way, can I just have a little moment here? Can I just have a little rant? It will take me a minute. I really don't care for these people that speak smack against New Year's resolutions, and they do this whole holier than thou situation on the Facebooks or wherever about how you shouldn't need New Year's resolutions because you should just be living your life a certain way all the time anyway. And I personally just think that New Year's resolutions are kind of lame because I'm just above that. That post happens every year. Please don't be that person. Please don't be that person. There's nothing more wonderful or beautiful than New Year's resolutions if you feel like it. I mean, there's nothing more wonderful or beautiful than whatever is true for you in that particular day or moment. New Year's resolutions are super fun. But at the same time, you can choose anything and switch flick any time of the year, any time of the day. But let's not just talk smack about New Year's resolutions, okay? The same people that refuse to have Christmas crackers. You know who you are. Somebody said that to me recently, and now I can't remember who it was, and I think it was a friend of mine, and now they're going to feel offended if they hear this. And I'm sorry. It's fine if you don't like Christmas crackers. Anyhow, moving along. It's important to understand, this is so important to understand, this is around the discipline of saying yes to the work that you're meant to be pouring out into the world. So let's say there's a big thing that you know is meant to come through. It could be a book, a new vibey podcast, whatever it might be. Something that is brimming away just beautifully inside of you. Now, hopefully it hasn't been brimming away inside of you for so long that if we're honest about it, it's gotten a little bit disgusting in there, a little bit stagnant, and realistically it should have just been excommunicated from your body a long time ago. Because we don't like that. We don't like that. It makes us grumpy. It slows everything down. You could be out there taking so much action in your business. You could be a go-getting sort of a human. And if you've got something that is brimming inside of you, that especially that God himself has put upon you, in which case it definitely needs to be coming out, and you're not actioning it, you're not writing the book, creating the podcast, doing the conversation, making the course of the program, putting yourself out there consistently with the message that you have to share because you are in a story that you should be further along before you start to teach or preach on this thing, or that you should have accomplished more, or that you should have yourself more, properly appointed. Who's in that story? Who wants to drop that story today? That's a personal choice. I don't have like a special magical solution for you. It's just a choice. If you're doing that and you're not letting it out because you are literally in agreement with the idea that you have to be some kind of perfectly polished, positioned human in order to share or teach the thing that God has already put on your heart, then what's going to happen is stagnation is going to happen. Yes, thank you, Lord. God sent me for whoever he sent me for. Stagnation is going to happen. Do you feel me? There is going to be a disgusting, what is it when a pond has pond goop on the top of it? What's pond goop called again? You know, that green stuff, slime. What is it called? We'll go with pond goop. There's going to be disgusting pond goop all up in your innards. Not good. Not good. Not magnetic. Not good at all for a multitude of reasons. It will literally affect your digestion, you guys. It will affect your sleep. Scum. That was a different word I was thinking of, but scum. We'll go with scum. Algae. Also a good word. There was something else I was thinking of too. I don't know. I have a pond at home. I'm familiar with the thing, although my pond is very clean. My fish are very happy. I have lots of fish. They're just continually procreating, those fish. Nobody authorized it. You'll come home and there'll be like 8 babies out of nowhere with one rebel blackfish amongst all the goldfish. They're all goldfish. How did they produce a blackfish from amongst all their goldfish? My necklace is an Aslan pendant that my friend Rachel Padgett actually made. How cool is it? Pond scum. So anyway, that stagnation, do you know what it's going to do? Firstly, there is a physical effect of that. There is a physical effect of not letting through the work that is meant to come through today. Can I interrupt myself for a moment? Because I'm on a whole thing right now. I'm on a whole thing. Did everybody see that? How could you not see? One assumes that you have the notifications set to see first. Follow as favorites or whatever the option is. Did you see that my new money course dropped yesterday? I'm talking the money course I've been waiting months for God to reveal to me, and I haven't been waiting like, where is it? I've been very chill about it, but I knew that God is going to have me do a whole brand new money course because I've done 13, 14 money courses over the years, and there's no way I'm going to sell or bring any of them to life again. Just this is too much stuff from the walking with God fully at the center cat that I just don't want out there. So there was a bit of a sorrow or grief around that because there's also so much gold content in there, but I just had to be obedient firstly, and secondly I was just like, no, it's not for this season, but at some point I'll do a whole new money course, a full deep dive on the inner as well as the practicalities, the accountability, the good stewardship to allow true wealth to grow, and all the mindset and inner stuff, and of course all biblically backed and Holy Spirit led. And I've just been chilling knowing that this will come along, and yesterday, bam, God hit me with it. And what did I do? I wrote it up straight away while I was having lunch. 20 minutes, y'all, 24 minutes. That went out last night. It's going to start on Friday. On Friday. You don't got much time to think about this. Yes, I'm starting a whole new signature course on Friday before Christmas. Yes, indeed I am. Because I really just felt that the first few modules I'm going to send out before Christmas. They're not going to be live, so you're not going to have to worry about how to, get at them. They'll just be sent out to you. But there will be a live group, and because it would probably be like a 4 or 5 week course all in all, it will probably go like 4 to 6 weeks or 5 to 6 weeks or something like that. So we'll just chill and we'll mosey into it. But it's going to start on Friday because I really just felt that there's an activation and a refreshing that gets to occur even during this time leading into Christmas. There she is. Somebody was just saying they like the necklace, and I was saying Rachel created that. It's the Aslan pendant. What is the link? Tell us the link for your store. Free Sister Collective. Is that what it's called? I always feel like I get like one word wrong or something. Anyway, elevated expansion. Sort your money stuff out once and for all and allow the flow that finally should be. This is an extremely deep dive signature course for me. There are 3 ways you can join. You can go VIP, which includes one-on-one access. You can go regular. We got a live course. We are going to roll it out over a period of a bit of extra time because of the New Year and Christmas, but I am not waiting till the New Year to start this. I just strongly felt this starts right away. Let's go. First few modules are coming out before Christmas for you to just receive, be refreshed, be rejuvenated in your spirit, and see a new thing that God wants to pour through you. Whew, I'm just getting that right now. Be rejuvenated in your spirit and see and know a new thing that God is going to be doing through you. Because who knows that there is so much just false assumption around money stuff. Worldwide, this is true, but some of you know I'm referencing in the Christian world. There really is. So we're going to be having some conversations. There is going to be some resetting. There is going to be some stuff that is shed and shred. There is going to be some accountability and discipline, you guys, around getting your head out of the sand. There is going to be structural stuff, tracking stuff, wealth management, money management, and stewardship. And it's very all like simple flowy because that is how I operate and how I've designed things over the past 10 plus years since I really committed to sorting my money stuff out, because it was a free-flying mess before that. Let's not joke about it. It really was. I was always good at making money. I rolled out of the womb that way. I just am not available to not make money. I just believe that the idea and the creativity and the knowledge and the thing is right there. And I'm going to teach you about that as well, because that is a choice, FYI. And there's a gifting around it as well, of course. But you having a gift doesn't mean you're releasing that gift or living into it. So there's that side of things, but there's also and now this thing gets to really be well taken care of, planted right, watered right, grow right, and start freaking making it about my worth or about whether it's righteous to, I don't know, expect more, expect more. The course is for anybody who is led to join. It will be taught with biblical principles beneath it. And everything I do is God-led, Holy Spirit-led in terms of me being me, how I teach, how I write, how I speak. But obviously what I speak and share speaks to many people who are not necessarily Christians. So there's people in all of my courses who are not Christians. And if they're there, it's because they've been led to be there. And I guess you're going to join and understand that I'm definitely going to be referencing the Bible and different things like that. And that's the place that I'm teaching from. But loosely what I say with any of my stuff is, if you feel led to join, there's a reason you feel led to join. And I'm also teaching like very much the spiritual, the supernatural, coupled with the practicality, entrepreneurial knowledge, skills, structure, discipline, accountability, getting out of your own way, all of that side of things as well. It's the marriage between the two, which is how I, again, do everything. So this is going to be just the go-to money course. I'm calling it. It's at thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation, because that's what it is. Elevated expectation. I'm super excited for this. There's 3 ways you can join. 3 ways. You can do in the live group. You can just get the light version if you don't want to be in the live coaching with me. And I've never done that before, but I just felt like there's people out there who really need this right now. And it's just not like a timely or a true thing right now for you to invest full cost in another course maybe, but you really just want the course. Well, you can actually access all the content and pay the light version. And that would mean you're choosing not to be in the live coaching container with me. I've never done that before. I've either always made it's the course, you pay the full cost, or I've done home study stuff, which is just a separate ball game. So you've got options, or you can go full VIP. So it's at thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation. There's quite a little overview there. I'll probably actually add more to that page over the next few days. I just wrote it as it came through yesterday. It gives you the gist. And we're going super deep with this. We are pulling out all the clunky, funky stuff that doesn't need to be there and just resetting so that there is an ability for you to clearly see, know, and receive the blueprint, or whatever you want to call it, of what you should be doing day to day, but also in a big picture sense, because there's just so much funky, clunky, pond scum stuff that's going on inside of people about receiving, about money, and all these attachments that nobody, and certainly not God, didn't ever tell you to make. But somebody maybe told you, or you made it up yourself at some point along the way, or it's just kind of like a collective way of thinking. So truth time, action. This is not about pursuing money. This is so not about pursuing money. How boring. This is about pursuing what is right, what is true, the path of destiny that you should be walking. And for many of you, and for anyone who's going to do this, an understanding that there is a higher level of stewardship that should be occurring through you, from you, and impacting however it is meant to impact, and it's a cliche statement, but it's true. You guys get it. It's not about the money. It's never been about the money for us. It's the pursuit of being who we're meant to be in the way that we were put here to be. And that is a whole conversation. So that's that. The other thing for just a very few people is I am doing private client intake, which is going to kick off officially our 3 months together. First quarter supernatural increase is going to kick off January 12. I'm feeling about 10 ladies for this. Several places already feel this is a mastermind, and it's full unlimited one-on-one for 3 months together. So I do all my private mentoring. It's full one-on-one, you and I, but I additionally include a bonus mastermind with my other private clients, which is really cool. And this is for those who are already kicking back. You are taking action. You are playing a game that others look at and like, whoa, but you're barely warmed up, and you know that it's time to simply draw a line in the sand about how things get to change now. And you want that all-in thing with me. So that one, you DM me. That's first quarter supernatural increase. You DM me, tell me about the one-on-one cat, or first quarter supernatural increase. If you sign up before Christmas or before the new year, or whenever you sign up prior to our start, you'll have immediate one-on-one access to me. So it's kind of like a little bonus time there. And also, if you're doing full private like that, you get all the other courses included, because I got a lot of stuff going on all the time. So you just get the whole shebang. So let's get back to the conversation though, right? Any questions about how to work with me? Any questions about my courses? Any questions that you just want to hit me with randomly, whether or not they're questions that I should even be answering? DM me. My DM door is always open. But let's get back to this topic, because this is super important. I did speak to somebody today who said something that I've heard many, many times, which was essentially to the effect of, I shouldn't be maybe like doing this thing or writing this thing or sharing this thing until I'm further along in my own journey. You know, I should have accomplished more results essentially before I would be putting this out into the world. And I just want to say, and she already actually coached herself right through that. She didn't even need me to say it, but maybe the reflection was required. I just want to say firstly, who put you in charge of deciding what correct accomplished results are that make you, I don't know, equipped or able to share or teach about a particular thing? Because you are probably hardcore critiquing yourself for things that you've pedestaled for some reason and decided are some kind of be-all, end-all marker of whether or not you're a fully evolved or oh my gosh, another thing, righteous human, which FYI is not your own efforts, it's going to help you with that. Do you know what I mean? So we all have different things that we pedestal. We're like, well, if I had done that, or once I've done that, or when I'm in that sort of position, you know, then I'm allowed to be a fully like a living, breathing human, basically. So there's that part of it. You don't know to what extent the things that you've already accomplished, walked through, overcome, seen in a different way. You don't even know to what degree, the way you just look at things, the perspective that you just have without even thinking about it, whereby you'll just say like one throwaway sentence to a friend or to a client and it changes their life. Who knows that they actually do that? And it's not even about you. It's a gift and ability and a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the whole way you've walked out your life, you know, and it's things that you've been given that are beyond you. So you don't even know what you've already walked through, or the lens that you've looked at, or the perspective that you have, or the way that you have of expressing something that is the exact thing that a person needed to hear, that is going to go straight like a missile to their heart and change the game for them completely. And meanwhile, selfish, you're over here, we all do it, it's okay, but enough. You're over here like, oh, well, I could only, you know, put myself out there in that way, or teach or share in that way, or talk or express in that way, or, you know, plant that flag and create that big thing in that way, once I've accomplished these markers that I decided I need to accomplish in order to be able to fully land and expand and just be who God sent me here to be. And a lot of the time, the markers or the milestones that you decided are required are the ones that are based on your trauma stuff, your history, your life experiences. And that's a separate conversation in itself, yeah? But a lot of the time, that's where it comes from. Patterns, insecurities, even generational stuff. And now you've made it like the freaking, I don't know, ring that has to be found on the hero's journey or whatever, and only once you got there, then you're allowed to share about the thing. But meanwhile, you may have already walked through the fire that has forged you into being a person who, without even thinking about it, says or shares the thing that the person needed to hear. And on a whole nother side of the conversation is the fact that regardless your life experiences, and this is what I was saying to this client, it's actually not about what stories you already have to share of how you've enacted this particular teaching point. Because that's cool. It's cool to include stories in your teaching or your writing or what have you. It's not a rule that you have to, though, by the way. And a lot of the time, those who are like downloading, you don't need stories. That's an addition. And it's also like a rule of various industries that certain things are not supposed to be created or done without including stories. I don't know about you guys, but there's nothing more boring to me than a book that is centered around stories and examples. I can't even make it past the second chapter. It drives me mad because I'm just be like, I don't need your little breakout box with your little story and then your little riffing example. Can you just give me the raw bloody core of it, you know? Can you just rip out your heart and show it to me? I couldn't care less what your stories are. Unless you're funny, then I want to know the story. But that could be on a separate section, like here's the comedy at the back. Or it just comes out however it comes out. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So you got to stop limiting yourself, and you're making all these rules for how you're meant to share the thing that God has given to you. And you invented these rules, whether it's from, life experience, whether it is oftentimes from trauma, from insecurities, from what have you. Just stop it. Because how do you know if you're meant to share about a thing? Because it's there. It's there. It's present. It's there. It's brimming and bubbling and simmering away inside of you. It's not going away. It's literally like coming out of you. And what are you doing? No, can't. Shove it back down. This is why you've got stagnant pond scum inside of you. It's definitely impacting your health, and that's not made up. Some of you understand what I mean. It's impacting your digestion, your weight, your strength, your bone density, your libido, your hormones, all of it. So there's a health fallout of not letting things out that are meant to come out. And there is a practical fallout in your business, because you might still be a very diligent person. You may still be quite conscientious. You're going to work your way through the things that need to be done. You will do your deliverables, etc. Oh my gosh, the exhaustion of that though. When you're not saying yes to the thing that isn't activated for you, which is whatever it is that you're meant to share in the world. That's the thing that isn't activated for you. You saying yes to letting forth or walking forward with whatever gifts God has given you and continues to give you as you steward them well. If you grab them and shove them into the soil and bury them deep, what are you doing? You're being a naughty servant who's buried his talents. You're going to be banished. There's a story for you. Go read the Bible. All right? So you need to be utilizing the talents that you've been given, and it's not on you to decide whether or not you're equipped already. What a relief. Imagine if it was on me, I would have never done anything or said anything. I'd still be sitting with my journal in the bushes watching people, which is where it all began. Who read, who was the girl that sat in the bushes? Was it Harriet the Spy? Some of you are like horrified at me, and some of you just understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I was a child, and there were these books that you read. I think they were called Harriet the Spy books. I think it was Harriet the Spy. Harriet the Spy is definitely a book, whether it's the one I'm referring to. But I would sit in the bushes outside the front of my house with my notepad and my journal, and I would just make commentary and stories up about people who walked past. So I'd still be there. Be weird though, since my parents sold that house a long time ago and somebody else lives there. It'd be very unfortunate if I was still sitting in the bushes. The thing is that whoever you're looking at, who you think, oh, that person's prolific, or they're super disciplined, or they just show up, or whatever, I can guarantee you, like I am certain, I don't care who they are, I am certain that they're still human. They haven't graduated from that state yet, and as such, they have emotions, they have a mind that just runs a whole story all by itself, wherever it wants. I actually was watching Layla Hormozi yesterday on Instagram. I haven't caught her content for a while, and I was flicking through a few of her videos, and she had a great way of expressing it where, like the thinking mind, right? Like all these random thoughts. And she was saying she just views it as spam mail, like when you go into your inbox and there's all this spam, and she just flicks it away like spam, 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 or she said something funny like, oh, a lot of spam today. I was like, that's a great way of saying it. I've taught for years that this stuff, it's not relevant. Dismiss, disregard, move to strike. You don't have to put in the driver's seat your thinking, your emotions, or all the stuff that you decided you have to somehow hero journey your way through and hurdle your way through and ninja your way through in order to be allowed to just say the thing that is already coming up inside of you. Yes? Am I saying anything useful? I'm preaching to myself. I don't care. As John Bevere says, I'm preaching myself happy. Every single time. So, there is discipline that's required. Discipline is a gateway. Discipline is a gateway to flow. Discipline is not a bad word. Discipline is not a yucky word. Discipline is not like against our true selves. Where is the discipline to? Now, if you are being disciplined to follow all the so-called rules of the internet, this we will have to have a little discussion about. There's going to be a little come to Jesus moment, all right? But if you're being disciplined to be responsible to the work that you've been given, if you're being disciplined to do the thing anyway, if you're being disciplined to put aside your own thoughts or emotions and simply pour forth, if you're being disciplined to compartmentalize, I can sit here and preach and teach a whole thing, and honestly, I can be having a whole conversation in my mind. You're making yourself look like an idiot. You should be embarrassed. You're just ranting off again. Somebody going to come along and think, what is she on? She's on drugs. She's off her head. She's full of herself, or whatever. All that stuff can be happening, and I can still be obediently preaching the message that I've been given, or teaching the message that I've been given, or simply saying the thing that is coming out of me. Do you get it? So I decided a long time ago, a long time before I had even a 7-figure online business, let alone a multi-7, let alone an 8-figure, let alone a multi-8-figure business God blessed me with, my words started tripping up. A long time before any of that, do you know what I decided? And that's not a runaway story. It was like 2006 or 7, early days of my blogging, and I remember exactly even where I was, in this one little coffee shop, like down the back alley underneath one of the gyms that I was working at the time, and across the road from one of the restaurants that my now ex-husband owned at the time. Melbourne, such a small little family town. We're all interconnected. And I remember sitting there at the bar, like the high table, or the high bar with a coffee, like 6 a.m. And I was working on my blog. I had to go to the gym and work like a 12-hour day with clients. And I remember thinking, if I just keep doing this, somebody needs to hear this. If I just keep doing this, surely I'm going to get somewhere. Profound, hey? I didn't have a vision of a multi-8-figure business or hundreds of courses created from flow or stepping fully into living the convicted walk as a Christian, let alone as opposed to calling myself a Christian, or impacting people in over 120 countries where we have paying clients, or being really well known in the female entrepreneur space, or all the different ups and downs and celebrations and wins and tears that have occurred, or all the incredible people who I've met. Most of my real life friends have come through my business, or the blessing that doing this gets to continue to be into my life and into the lives of others day in and day out, or a laptop lifestyle, or all the cool travel stuff. I didn't know any of that. I literally just thought, if I just keep doing this, surely it's going to get somewhere. That's what I thought. And I made a decision though. It wasn't just a thought. I made a decision that day in my spirit. I will write at least 2 times a week, no matter what, because I believe it will get somewhere. That was it. And then I was disciplined and I wrote, and then I quickly elevated pretty soon after that to 3 times a week. And I was consistent. Did I feel like it? A lot of the time, no. A lot of the time I was really freaking tired. I was working crazy hours at that time. As a personal trainer, I had a ton of trainers working for me. I was extremely overworked. And I was also I had insomnia at that exact time, like full proper insomnia. Like I would be lucky to sleep 1 hour a night, and then I was working 14, 15 hours in the gym. And I had an eating disorder. I was bulimic, and I was training like 6 hours a day. I was in a psychotic phase of my humanness, honestly. Thank the Lord I'm free. And yet I would just do this thing. I would just write day in and day out. Eventually it was day in and day out. At first I was like 2 times a week. It was a commitment because I just believed it was going to get somewhere. It's the same as how when I was 17 and I first started to lift weights, and I thought, if I just keep doing this and I don't stop, then by the time I'm 40, I'll have arms like Madonna and I'll have reverse aged. That's what I thought when I was 17 and I was doing upright rows. Well, excuse me, but my arms are pretty fabulous. It is what it is. And when I turned 40, I literally ran around the house like a little girl, like, I did it. Because for years I'd always thought about how if I just keep doing this, like lifting weights, then by the time I'm 40, I have great arms and I'm going to be looking like way younger than I am. I'm not kidding. I celebrated that so hard when I was 40. 40 was such a coming of age moment for me. 40 was the best. 40 was the best milestone ever. Has anyone else experienced that? So many women say that about 40. I'm so excited for 50. Slow down. Let's get married and have more babies first. I'm 44 now. Introduce me to your Christian brother if you feel led to do so. Please don't send me another man that's in America. So many people have been sending me men that's in America. I never asked the internet to help me date. Well, I did just do that. People keep sending me, I think this is your guy. And I'm like, he's in freaking Louisiana or something. How does this help me? Oh, my arms. I'm not talking about the rest of Madonna's person. I mean, she's 70 though. Let's give her some credit. I think she's 70. The point is, you decide to, do you know what it is? So many people are out there looking for, you got to be honest with yourselves about this. There's so many, and I've done this as well. There's so many of us where we're out there looking for the next hit. Oh, what is the thing that's going to blow me up right now somehow this week? What is the big viral explosion thing? What do I need to latch onto, and all of a sudden I'm going to be seen and known properly? Just stop that. Stop that right now. Put the lemon and pepper diet aside. That's what's going on there. Enough. Let's just be disciplined to the daily work of doing what we came to do in the way that the good Lord is showing us to do it. Never mind what's trending. If that happens to pull up into your pathway along the way, that's fine. But stop jumping here, there, and everywhere to try and generate a result that you would have easily generated a long time ago if you would have just consistently done a thing. And just accept where you are now, accept it, look in the mirror. Get naked and look in the mirror. You can do that literally. It's probably relevant for some of you, but I meant it in a business sense. This is the situation. This is what we're working with. This is the current state of affairs. This is what I will now commit to. You don't even need to know the fullness of the vision. That's cool and that's fun, and that's definitely a thing that's going to come out of you when you work with me in whatever way you do so. But actually, you just need to decide, this makes sense. If I just keep doing this thing, it's going to lead me somewhere. The end. Because that's what I did. And it turned into a multi-figure empire, and I've done it in any different area of my life in different ways. And then the adjustments of what you actually do, they're shown along the way, but you want to sit there. So many people want to sit there and they want to know step 10 when you refuse to take step 1 that's in front of you. That's not how it works. Like, who do you think you are? Stop it. That's not how it works. Take the step in front of you. Then you'll be shown the next one and the next one. Be willing to be the person who stays the course. Be willing to be steadfast. Be willing to systematically, which can be a flow thing, by the way, just put one foot in front of the other and just steadily move forward. While everybody else in the previous version of you is jumping off path here, there, and everywhere because somebody said something on TikTok that apparently they should do. Honestly, this is a reality check. This is a reality check. I'm excited to share it. So flow is a discipline. Discipline is a gateway to flow. You say yes to the thing. You don't need to know all the details. It's right. It's in your inner knowing. It's that green light that God is showing you. It's just, yes, I know I'm meant to do this thing. I don't need to know where it's going to lead. I had no idea where live streaming was going to lead when I did my first sideways, because I didn't realize Periscope in 2015 with eyebrows that for some reason looked like an ECG graph. Horrifying. And I was like sideways and I couldn't read the comments, and it was like a 3-minute live stream. I've shared it a few times over the years. You could easily find it. Actually, it would be under, like, if you searched Katrina Ruth Periscope on Facebook, you would find it. And I said something like, well, I don't really know what this live streaming thing is, but I think it might be something that I do a lot. Anyone who's been in my space for a while, for a minute, knows I went through a period after that for maybe 3 or 4 years where I was one of the most out there live streamers within the coaching industry. I literally made millions of dollars as a byproduct of live streaming. I'd already made that sort of money prior to it, so don't get your knickers in a knot about you have to do video in order to make money. That's just what I was doing. And live streaming is just an expression for me. It's an expression. It's something that I know I'm meant to do. But if I would sit there and try and evaluate the outcomes that I could get from live streaming and the pros and cons of whether or not I would do it, I would never be here. And this just speaks to everything. All right, I'm going to go because I want to go to the beach and it's nearly 3 o'clock. So what do you need to make a switch flick decision around today? Where do you need to get over yourself, sister, and just start to walk into the freaking room? See, that's how you found me. 2015, 16 live streams. Many of you found me that way. Look at all these epic humans way into their 40s loving it. 40s are the best, but I'm sure when I get to 50, I'll be like, 50 is the best. I can't wait. I'm excited for all of it. What do you need to say yes to today? Where do you need to get out of your own way? Where do you honestly need to stop looking? Stop looking. Stop looking for what you need to know or how you're going to somehow get something. Just stop that. Stop that right now. Naughty. And just do the thing that you're meant to do. In a world where everybody's trying to jump from here to there to everywhere and be the next thing overnight, be the person who God sent you here to be and be that person today. All right, the end. Go to thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation. Every time I say that, I'm not actually trying to pause dramatically. It's because I keep getting my words tangled in my head about the actual course name. Because years ago, I was going to do a course called Elevated Expansion. So then every time I go to say it, I'm like, what did I call it again? thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevate. Now my team are doing it as well, though, on the other end. I've confused everybody. Elevated expectation. The tagline is sort your money stuff out once and for all and allow the flow that should be, because that's what we're going to be doing. This is so exciting. It is a new deep dive signature money course. It is going to start on Friday, so don't hesitate. I'm going to drop the first few modules just sent directly to you. The live content will start after Christmas. I'll add in extra time for the fact that we're starting before Christmas, but I want to start before Christmas because I just sensed and knew that there's an activation and a refresh and a rejuvenation and a clarity to be shown that God wants for you right now, and we don't need to wait till the new year. So you want to join before Friday? Believe me, there are 3 ways you can join. You can go full VIP, you can go regular in the group, or you can get the light version where you don't join in the live coaching group and you just want the content. thekatrinaruthshow.com/elevated expectation. If you suspect that it might be time to fully draw a line and you are already willing and able to invest in private mentoring, yes, half the price of what it was a year ago because God changed some things inside of me, but still a significant investment because it is full private. First quarter supernatural increase is very limited. It is for the woman who has already taken action. You are quite likely the woman other women look to like, whoa, but you just know it's time to draw a line in the sand and there's been so much stickiness slowing things down and you want the all-in version. First quarter supernatural increase. The title is what it is. It says what it is. You'll actually get early one-on-one access to me if you sign up before our official start date though, because I'll just start with you right away. But the official start date and when the 3-month structure will begin is from January 12. You're also going to get a bonus included mastermind with my other high-level private clients. I'll tell you all about it. Just DM me about that. All right, have an amazing rest of the day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Do not